I get it when you're eyeing a high-end monitor and the price tag is already pushing the budget, though what if it's not the right fit? Question pops up right away. I've been through that loop a few times, scrolling forums, watching YouTubers, and even digging into a handful of Reddit threads, just to make sure I'm not buying a fancy picture frame that will sit dusty. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the Acer Predator X27U the way you'd explain it to a friend who's about to drop a serious chunk of cash on a display that's supposed to be both a gaming powerhouse and a color-accurate workhorse. First off, the X27U is an OLED panel at 27 inches, which already sets it apart from the sea of LED backlit monitors. In real life, that means you'll see true blacks that feel like they are actually disappearing, not just dimmed. If you've ever been frustrated by grainy shadows in a dark shooter or a washed-out movie night, OLED solves that instantly. The panel runs at a native 2560x1440 resolution, so you're not forced into a stretched 4K image on a screen that's only 1.5 feet wide. That resolution hits a sweet spot for most desktop rigs, crisp enough for detailed textures, yet low enough that a powerful GPU can actually push the advertised 240 Hz without choking. Now, the 240 Hz claim is where the conversation usually splits. If you're a competitive FPS player who lives for sub-10 ms reaction times, the combination of OLED response, advertised 0.01 milliseconds, and a 240 Hz refresh makes the Predator feel like you're looking at the action in slow motion, even when the game is moving at breakneck speed. I ran a few side-by-side tests with my 1080p 144 Hz panel, and the difference in motion clarity was obvious, especially during rapid pans in Apex Legends. For a content creator editing video or scrolling through large timelines, that high refresh isn't as critical, but the smoother cursor movement does make long editing sessions feel less tiring. The color side is where the X27U really flexes. DCI-P3 coverage at 99% and a delta E under 1 means you're getting near studio accuracy right out of the box. I checked a couple of color charts in DaVinci Resolve, and skin tones landed spot on without needing a hardware calibrator. That's a huge win for anyone doing photo retouching, color grading, or even just wanting the most vibrant YouTube experience. The HDR performance is also noteworthy. 1000 nits peak brightness on an OLED panel is rare, and it translates to punchy highlights in games like Cyberpunk 2077, without the bloom you get on most LCDs. But no monitor is perfect, and the X27U has some trade-offs that matter once you actually plug it in. The first red flag is the price. OLED monitors sit at a premium, and you're paying for a 27-inch panel that isn't 4K. If you're on a tighter budget, a high-refresh LCD with a VA or IPS panel might give you comparable gaming performance for less cash, albeit with weaker blacks. Second, OLED is still susceptible to burn-in if static UI elements linger for hours. Think of a persistent HUD in a game, or a constantly displayed chat window. I made sure to enable pixel shift and set the screensaver, but it's a habit you need to keep in mind if you plan marathon sessions. Another practical point is connectivity. The X27U offers a USB-C port that carries video, data, and power, which is fantastic if you have a laptop that can drive the monitor over a single cable. It also includes DisplayPort 1.4 and 2 HDMI 2.0 inputs. The downside? No HDMI 2.1, so next-gen consoles like the PS5 or Xbox Series X can't hit the full 120 Hz at 1440p, they'll fall back to 60 Hz, or 1080p. If you're primarily a console gamer, you might feel shortchanged. The built-in KVM Switch is a nice touch if you juggle a desktop and a laptop, letting you flip inputs without reaching for a keyboard shortcut, but it adds a tiny amount of latency that could matter in ultra-competitive play. Audio is often an afterthought on monitors, and the X27U gives you two 5-watt speakers. They are adequate for casual media consumption, but don't expect a rich, room-filling soundtrack. Pairing the monitor with a headset or external speakers is still the best route for immersive gaming or detailed audio work. Ergonomically, the stand offers tilt adjustment, but no height or swivel. If you need a fully adjustable setup, you'll have to buy a VESA mount separately. So who should actually click buy now? If you're a serious PC gamer who already owns a GPU capable of delivering high frame rates at 1440p, and you value the deepest blacks and most accurate colors for both gaming and creative work, the Predator X27U is a compelling package. It also appeals to creators who need that DCI-P3 coverage without buying